Hey, what's up, guys? This is Hassan with the Struggling Day Trader, and let's go over my trades for today. Today was pretty bad, but there's good in the bad. Um, Let me explain. So, there's always this like when there isn't a good setup, there's this feeling that I have to get into something. And there's like a part of me that believes that I can find trades outside of my rules, outside of my strategy, and be profitable taking those types of trades. And it's so blatantly obvious to me, especially today, that my rules are pretty good and my strategy is pretty good. And my rules are really good at keeping me out of bad trades and preserving my capital. And when I step outside of that, I'm really bad at preserving my capital and staying out of bad trades. Um, like it's just always that part of me that's like, just try it, man. Just see what happens. And it's based on a belief that it could happen, right? Um, a lot of it has to do with the 1 minute, which I've actually chosen to delete off of my main platform. This is my review setup, my review layout. So that's why it's still there. But on my main platform, I have removed my 1 minute chart. I'm done with it. I don't need to see it. Everything that I see on the 1 minute chart just makes me make bad decisions, right? All I need is on the higher time frames. And yeah, so I'm done with the 1 minute chart. So tomorrow for sure, no 1 minute chart watching at all. Um, Second rule is I gotta better manage these first trades that I take like right off the open. Like 10 minutes in is too soon. Like I have to at least wait for this third candle to close. Because I mean, okay, if the first one's a green candle, second one goes up some more, and maybe it puts a topping tail and pulls back, and then the third candle tests VWAP, then I shouldn't be able to enter to the fourth, right? And that's pushing it. Like that's pretty perfect what I described. So anyway, Apple had a nice open. It popped up, and I bought, and then I think I added on the 1 minute. Let's see. Yeah. So I bought this break, which is the break of the 5 minute high, which was the high of the day at that moment, which is a breakout trade. And I said I wasn't doing that anymore. Like, bruh, no breakouts. And then I added on the one, which wasn't even let's see, high 173.64. 173.64. Okay, so I shouldn't have gotten triggered into that ad because this candle did not break the high of that candle. And so maybe I would have been okay to add or get into the position there and put the stop under there. But anyway, this is the 1 minute chart, and we don't deal with that. So the only entry on here I'm cool with is this, just because of that candle and it's higher low, but it traded so far under VWAP at this point, and it even closed below VWAP, you know. So I gotta pay attention to those little things, like this almost a full retracement of the previous green bar into the red, and then going past VWAP and closing below. So it kind of looks like a good setup, but again, with this big topping tail, You got to be more cautious. You got to wait for it to prove itself a little bit more. And then from there, it did trade back above VWAP and couldn't get past this candle, this previous high over here. And I'm not terribly upset at myself at this. I can live with this entry here, but this entry's trash, and that's the breakout. So we can say first entry breakout failed. No breakouts. Second entry long tail, wide range candle. There are better setups. Alright, and do we have another entry on Apple? We did. Third entry. Below VWAP. After huge rejection. Yeah, so first and third, highly avoidable. Could have been just a simple minus 25. Instead, minus 92.95. Like, bruh, come on, man. Alright, PDD. This was a 1 minute entry for sure. Let's check. Yep, 1 minute entry. So, I mean, it did make a higher high and a higher low. But it's on the 1 minute, man. It's on the 1 minute. So it doesn't really make that much of a difference. On the 5, clearly, let's see, where's that HVS? Alright, HVS is here. Okay, so it does line up from that extent on the 1. It looks great on the 1. But there's no trigger. There's no trigger on the 5 into this trade. So this trade should not have been taken. 1 minute entry failed. No 5 minute trigger. Stupid. Stupid. And stupid. Alright, so far we've taken 1 good trade out of 4. And then we got Google. Now, Google was a great trade. However, entry was on the 1 minute. This entry was on the 1 minute chart. This kind of trading is a rare example on how you can trade on the 1 minute when it trades like this. But most of the time it doesn't. And you can see the entry trigger here was 137.49 on the 5 minute, 137.68. So 20 cents. You could have gotten a 20 cents. Your entry would have been 20 cents higher on the 5 minute, right? So you would have needed to get less shares. But the place that I added, I could have added here also if I really wanted to add, which still would have been, let's see, 137.96. I added at 138. So the ad could have been just about the same following the 5 minute, and take profit would have been great. Also, you can see there's no reason to take profit here just yet. We coasted smoothly up to 139, which was my initial target, but I'm not mad at all about taking it out a little bit early to secure the bag, because this was a great trade. I'm talking $25 risk, $158 profit on that one. So this one was traded well, but I was super red, and this, at the end of the day, this was one of the only things that was still uptrending, and I saw it kind of holding this level here, and took a trade on it, and then added to it on like a straight YOLO. I think I even said YOLO in the live stream because I was so red at this point. It was just like, well, whatever. But in reality, I'm supposed to stop trading at 10:30, which is 11:30 on market time, which would have been here, which my last trade. So no entries after that. First entry on the 1 minute would have triggered in the 5 also. Added on the 1 would have triggered in the 5 also. And this was a 6R win. Great trade. Now second entry above VWAP. After 10:30. Stupid. All right. So now we have 2 good trades out of 6. It's terrible accuracy. That's 6 times I got into a trade, and only 2 of them were within my rules. So my rules are 1 of 2 right now, and I'm 1 for 6. Ooh, that's tough. All right, Pan W. Okay, so it traded up really strongly. It kind of just ran off. Like, if you look at the average day, there really wasn't that much left on the bone. Like, this was just too big of a move up. I was being very hopeful, thinking that I would get more out of it. And I remember that too. Like, man, it's really not. Like, I was trying to figure out what kind of target to reach for, but really just wasn't much left on the bone. I should have just taken 2R, because it did go 2R. And that's when I moved my stop up to break even, which I ended up stopping out at break even. So, let me see. Is this another 1 minuter? No, I guess I wouldn't say that. It doesn't look good on the 1 either. I think I was a little late to this party, and I considered this a trigger candle. And so I bought in pretty much over the top of that candle. And then I added over here, which was the actual better trigger, better entry here. So first entry, miss trigger, FOMO'd in, and then added on trigger, went 2R, stopped, break even. So first entry was kind of sketch. I really rather, when I'm catching a bounce from VWAP, I really want the price to move away like expeditiously. And if it's hanging out in the area of VWAP, then that's not really what we want. Like, we want the immediate reaction. Like, when I get triggered in, it should be going. So missing the trigger and then, trying to catch a dip, I don't really care for that kind of strategy. But it did work out and it moved up a little bit, but I don't know. It's like a mix between being too patient and realizing that it's not really doing what I wanted to do, and maybe I should go ahead and take the profit off. But I do appreciate that I moved my stop up and just went ahead, and if it goes too far, I feel like I deserve at least break even. If it stops me out and then does another VWAP wiggle, then I can jump back in. But if it goes too far, I should definitely take the risk off. So I feel good about doing that. But yeah, I would say already moved up too much in relation to average trading range. All right, Tesla. I would say this kind of same story with PanW. It moved up way too fast. It already made its range. Average range. Let's see. It's quite a bit. Looks like $7 or so, and we had already moved from 174 to 82. So it's $8 that we had already moved. And I think I would have been happy with just a ride back up to high of day from here. But this kind of move, it needs to cool off for a while. I don't know. I'm not too mad about that entry. Aside from it being just already run through the daily range. First trade. Decent trigger on 5, but already exhausted daily range. Wait for a better setup. Alright, NVIDIA. This trade was more like, man, we've had some great times together, NVIDIA. Let's let the good times roll. Let's take another trade. It's just like, it wasn't really that great of a setup at all. Let's do that. Yeah, I mean, again, when it comes to VWAP, I really want the price to move away. This isn't our setup. We're looking for the narrow range hammer pin at VWAP, right? Something like that. And anyway, what I came here for was to draw this line. And as you can see, we did not maintain trading above that line. So first, all entries below HVS. And that's like, HVS is like my multiplier. Like, okay, if it's above VWAP and it's above the opening trading range, that has a real good likelihood of continuing to move up. But if it's below that opening range, it has a very good likelihood to continue going down. And I did not acknowledge that. And I think this second trade, second entry after 10:30. Stupid. Both of these. Let's see, Dale. I don't know what was going on with me on Dale. I was pretty hopeless at this point. Yeah. That was like straight crackhead moves on Dale. Stupid. SMCI extended from VWAP beneath HVS. SQ way beneath HVS. MSTR way above VWAP. So yeah, all of these is like totally avoidable. Maybe 2 setups didn't work, which would have been totally recovered by my awesome trade on Google, and I would have been $100 up today. You know, so I think I'm gonna try to spend some time to really type out my rules and really nail down what is okay, what is acceptable, and what is not, just so everything's clear. You know, and I need to print it out so I can see it, and I think that would help. Or even if I just kept it up on my screen somewhere, you know, maybe I'll keep it on my third monitor and just have it up so I can constantly read over it. Constantly remind myself, constantly read over it. Maybe y'all can come in the live stream and help me out too. You know, be like, hey, bro, what are you doing? But yeah, though, so, you know, I think there are a lot of people struggling in the market that don't have a strategy that works. You know what I mean? And they haven't gotten to that point. So I do feel blessed to have at least a strategy that I feel like is proven, and good risk management, and a decent idea of what my rules are. And those rules prove to me over and over again that if I would follow them, I would not lose as much money. So yeah, so today's another day of lessons in the struggle. Hope you guys can learn something from my mistakes, and I think I'm learning a lot from my mistakes, and we'll be back tomorrow morning to try again. Anyway, hit that like button for me, hit that subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the morning. Peace.